Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody out there on the interwebs and extra webs. I don't know. It's one day before the end of August, and I wanted to do a garden tour, kind of show you how things are progressing here on the homestead. I just gave the girls a little scratch, chicken scratch. It's got a little corn in it, a couple other things, but it's organic. So I'm trying to keep them organic. I'm growing organic. And we added another waterer, one inside, one outside. This side here does get shade because the sun is on that side of the building. So the rest is all in sun later. And when we move the run, see, this is where the run was before, about 2 weeks. Now that they have open access to more grass, more ground, they're not killing it as much. We've had about 6 different moves over here. So that's where we are now. I haven't checked the nesting boxes, but usually first thing in the morning isn't too many. So here's the orchard. We got the 3 apples at the front, which I think I've lost Jonah Mac. But I did include 3 of them in their run this time. I want to see how they do with the dirt around the base. And let's go ahead and start at the beginning. Oh, we got the vines keep growing. Those weeds. I've got lots of picking to do. No, I did not bring my stabilizer, so you get a little bounce here. Here's bed 1 and 2. This is the fall harvest that I put in. And I need to get something a little bit better to keep. I think I'm going to do a couple more of these little plastic things to keep this down. This is to keep the shade on some of these lettuces in the middle here. And look at these noodles. These are Chinese noodle beans. They are actually, I hope this guy did not attach. Let's see if he will. Maybe. All right. They are looking wonderful though. So I have this first cattle panel has the Chinese long red noodle bean. This is the old homestead bean. So I got 2 different beans. As you can see, something is starting to try and eat these. My goodness, pests are one of the hardest things, and I did not realize that until growing. Sugar daddy peas also went in at the same time as the beans. The rest of this side is all from the spring planting. As you can see, my tomatoes are still going really well. I have some rosemary here still, starting to get a little crispy areas. And I walk around, I deadhead my marigolds a lot, but they are producing like crazy. So I just keep doing it and they keep coming back. Basil, still doing well. And again, I deadhead this so it doesn't change the flavor. This is sweet basil. Next year I want to try a couple other varieties. As you can see, I got 3 plants on this side. They're doing wonderful with the tomatoes. These guys are getting so tall. And yes, I've been clipping off their leaves and things. Oh, that guy's doing a right-hand turn here. Oh my goodness. See him on the other side? He's doing I'll have to go in and fix him with some string. But their bases are so small. And what I have learned is next year, go ahead and cut down to 1. I left them go. Let's see, some of these have 3 and 4 bases. So not getting enough nutrition to make enough fruit. But I think these guys are doing well. I had to tie them last night because we have a storm coming. But yeah, we've got some more tomatoes. A little bit of, I'm not even sure what this is that happens. Could be the air circulation because I am trying to cut, leaves and things from impeding the air because that can give them disease. Here's a little tomato running a little behind everybody else, but I will give her a string today. See my oregano poking through from that side. So those are, let's see, what were those? The first set were the, beefsteak. This set here are the indeterminate lows. No, these are just regular, oh gosh, can't even remember my names. Anyway, these are the Rutgers down here. And I didn't plant anything on this outside area, so I have some weeds growing. Let me throw these in the muck bucket. Again, on this side, and I made the cattle panels the same. So Rutger on the inside, Rutger on the outside. Let me get some more of these flowers. It's crazy how fast things grow when you give them the heat and the sun they love. This guy's a little offshoot. Let's go through the jungle, the tomato jungle. Again, I've got more basil growing inside. There's some oregano, which I just harvested a bunch of seeds, and I guess they weren't seeds, like the rosemary I got, but what I did is I clipped it in June, put it in a paper bag from Jersey Mike's, one of our favorite fast food joints, I guess you could call it, and then let them dry. So then now I've just put them in the little containers. All right, these are the Lowe's cherry, small cherry. We went ahead and got some of those. We weren't sure if the others were all indeterminate, but as you can see, they were. So I'm trying to keep this cleaned up. I've got a whole bunch of tomatoes I can eat again. These are the Romas. So these are more for like paste and sauce and things. And then on the right, we're getting more into our beefsteaks again. They're struggling a little bit because they are heavy tomatoes. And you have to clip them, like I will be clipping. Oh, spider made a web. I'll be clipping these two down here today, only because we've got rain coming. And when they get too much rain, especially the beefsteak, they crack. I just harvested last night, so that's why not a lot looks harvestable this morning. And here's my design has kind of fallen in here. Oops. Okay. Got flowers in my pocket. Or flowers in my hand. Let me put them in my pocket. And put this up so we can sneak underneath it. Just come loose. My burlap idea. On the inside, this is my black-seeded Simpson lettuce. I'm growing a bunch along here. And I love fresh lettuce. Along here, I've got my ruby reds. So let's sneak through. Sneaking through. Whoop. Got some more plants. Look at some of those lettuces. They're looking really good. Oh. Yeah, I need to really weed around here. As you can see, I got grass growing. Okay, pull this one down. All right, so that finishes bed 1. And we're on the other side of bed 2. So this is your King Tut purple peas. These all went in a day after the other side. So they transplanted on the 19th versus the 18th. So they're just about 10 days old. The second batch, what was the second one? Oh my goodness. The second ones were the Oregon sugar pods. So these are all heirlooms that I got from, my brain's not thinking yet. I will share with you when I remember. The Burpenia early peas. And again, let's go ahead and the tomatoes are the same. These are my Romas. And some more basil. I'm loving the basil. Here, look, I got little teeny tomatoes. I can have one. Snack time. I love eating them while I'm out here. Okay, over here, I forgot to tell you on the inside, I put the last of the black-seeded Simpson. I had 4 more. Out here is the Calendula. I planted some Snow Princess. There's actually 4 of them, 4 spots. But I want to try and see if I can get them to go. My poor sunflowers, this is bed 3. Let me step over, see what kind I planted here. And look at the pollen just falling off. I believe that's the pollen. Maybe it's another fungus that I'm growing. And I don't even know it. These are called Italian white sunflowers. They're not doing too bad other than falling over, so maybe they needed a deeper base. And this was radishes. I pulled it. This is the April variety of broccoli that didn't do anything. I will be pulling it, but it was just holding space. Here's another rosemary. These are some turnips that I actually have used, so I will pull some more. I won't go to that bed. I keep tangenting. Sorry, guys. This is some Swiss chard. I think it's the Ford hook. Yes, it is. Here are my new peppers. These are the Ajavarski peppers. Got 2, 4, 6 different plants in here. And then that's a weed. I know that by now. They look really pretty, but they're weeds. These are my banana peppers. So I put in 6 of those. And unfortunately, my drip line goes right over my marigold, so it's kind of in the air. Here is some Tom Thumb lettuce. So that looked really good. It's another heirloom. And, oh, I have a weed growing up in the middle of my catnip. Okay, here he is. I will get him out of there. All right. Here is some broccoli, new broccoli for the fall. That's a stevia plant. Now, if we come back to bed 4, step over. These are, this one plant fell over. Magic roundabout sunflowers. So this guy had fallen over. So what I did is I put dirt back on, and then I brought over 2 of my pots, and it's kind of holding its own, but I think they're kind of done. I want to harvest some of the heads and get the seeds out. They're definitely not like seeds I remember, but nonetheless, I will harvest them, put them in the bag, let them dry like I usually do. We got some thyme, some lavender. There is a marigold in there, but you can hardly see it. Here is a lemon balm that I left in the pot. He originally started in bed 1, but I brought him over here when I started the fall, and I wanted to till over there. So this was tilled. That's one thing we did different the fall season. We did not till before we did the spring season. So we'll see if that was a boo-boo or whatnot. Here's a rogue. Let me zoom in here. That's a rogue garlic coming up. And that's some more mint. I don't think you can get rid of mint once you put it in. But there's a couple cauliflowers in here. I think I have 4. One, where's it? There's another one, 3 and 4. Then we come to our cucumbers. These are the Armenian yard-long cucumbers. 2, 4, I think I have about 8 of them in here. Then I left a space, which is now being overrun by grass, which needs pulled. That's my job. And then these are Muncher cucumbers. I've got 4 plants in here. Hopefully I can get some little ones. And the rest of this is left over from spring, which some of these are long dates, like the onions take a while. There's one lonely beet. This mint was chopped back to about this big. Look at what happens. It gets huge. But the chickens like mint too, so I can give them some. Here's some more onion and some more beets. These are from April, so this is what I was pulling. I also have some over in my west bed, which that was our first chance at tilling. These were not tilled. So, speaking of west beds, let's go ahead and take a peek over at how that's going, because that's going to be in the sun shortly. Last week I spent a couple of days